What's up, freak bitches, wherever you may be, however you may be listening? Thank you for giving us just a little bit of your time. And if you're tired of hearing about all the chaos going on over in Europe and the Ukraine, you've come to the right place to decompress. Talk about some of the fun shit going on in the world of entertainment. Here to talk about some of that shit with me is my awesome crew, as always, starting with the Dowager Countess, Lady Cora. How are you doing tonight, ma'am?
I'm great, thanks. Looking forward to the distraction.
a whole lot of stuff to distract you today. And one of the people that's going to distract you is my hetero life mate, Jeremy. What's up with you, my brother?
Not much. If I wanna simulate that shit, I'll play PUBG or something because it's over. It's over in Eastern Europe somewhere. Very definitely not totally Russia. But hey, I decided to dip back into that game because I hate myself. So it'll take a few games to see if I have made a mistake or not.
Well, we also, ironically enough, we also have some Fallout film news or Fallout live action TV show news coming up later on the show. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. But unfortunately, we do have a loss in Hollywood that we have to talk about real quick. This broke just about an hour ago over on Variety's website. You can go check that out below. Actress Sally Kellerman, who was an Oscar-nominated actress for her supporting role as Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan in Robert Altman's 1970 film MASH, passed away today in Woodland Hills, California, at the age of 84. Now,
what?
Yes, for those of you who are old like me, who actually who grew up watching things like the original MASH film, if you have not seen the original MASH film, you are missing out. That is a mind-blowingly good film. I know a lot of people remember the TV show, which was way more comedic, but the film itself was a very dark comedy. She the first one to play Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan on in front of a camera, and she was fantastic. I, of course, remember her from things like Back to School, and there was kind of one of those little like the movies that we talked about last week of Cora not liking, like the dick and fart jokes, the kind of crude humor. She was in a movie a long time ago called
Okay.
Moving Violations. That had it's got one of the Murray brothers, Brian Doyle Murray and Bill Murray, one of their younger brothers who actually went on to become more of a producer. He was in that as well. But so I came to find her in those movies, but then of course went back to look at some of her work like MASH and things like that. She was also an episode of the original Star Trek series. She played a Star Trek officer in an episode of that. And she had obviously started alongside Alan Alda in a few things. She had in a couple things. She had done some episodes of The Young and the Restless. But yeah, she is someone that I had grew up watching. Back to School is one of my favorite movies ever made. Rodney Dangerfield's comedy was pure gold, but yeah, and her playing kind of the love interest to him and that kind of that old sexy teacher was something that always kind of stood out to me in the 80s. But yeah, it's very unfortunate that she passed away. I always kind of, in my head, I always thought to myself, if I ever got rich and famous, there's one photo op that I would want. I would want Sally Kellerman on one side and Loretta Swit on the other side, giving me a kiss in the cheek right here. That would have been like the moment to end all moments. But
not Betty White. Okay. Interesting.
I was gonna say you scared me because I thought you meant the Loretta Swit passed away. I was like, she's supposed to be at Comic-Con this year. Wait a minute.
I looked it up, and they're the same age. They're both 84. So,
wow.
And Loretta Swit still looks good. I mean, I've seen some pictures of her recently. She still looks good. But I mean, Sally Kellerman still look good. I mean, this picture I don't think was taken more than a few years ago.
Yeah, she still looks good.
But yeah, I mean, she's just a fantastic actress that had been in the industry for decades. It was wildly entertaining. I love voices. Usually I talk about this with singers, but I love voices that have texture. And her kind of gravelly sound to her voice, I think it just made her that much hotter back in the day. But yeah, if you get a chance, go watch some of her stuff, especially Robert Altman's 1970 film MASH, which was a direct telling of the book and ended up leading to become the television show. Just fantastic work that she did. Very sad that she passed away. But yeah, so take a chance. Take a chance on going back and finding some of her work, especially Moving Violations. It's a really, really funny movie. It's kind of in the line with, I would guess, like a Police Academy, something like that. It's a bit goofy, a bit raunchy, but still very, very fun to watch. And it had some young talent in it as well. But yeah, rest in peace to Sally Kellerman, the first woman to play Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan in front of the camera. And she embodied that character so very well. But rest in peace to her. But now let's move on to our main stories of the day. And Lady Cora, what is our first main topic of the day?
Well, Jeremy, they actually did it. Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield recreated the classic cartoon Spider-Man meme, which popped up on the social medias Wednesday for the digital and 4K release date announcement of No Way Home. What did you think?
yeah, they weren't going to pass up that opportunity to do the meme. Of course they're going to do it. I mean, they already did it in the movie too. So I mean, I was kind of like not. Don't take my not being shocked as just literally not being shocked. I was like, oh no, this is awesome because like this is that other meme that's like, oh my god, society will never peak like this ever again, and that's that's basically what this embodies. I mean, I'm pretty sure they knew they were going to do this at some point. And yeah, they kind of did it in the movie a little bit, but I'm glad they actually did the real, And with that photo, you could probably like edit in like the little building and the van and crap like from the actual photo, but like, yeah.
I'm sure somebody will at some point.
Yeah, I know they're going to do it. That's hilarious.
Well, they did kind of do it. That scene where they're putting together all the stuff right before
they
go to
that's what I mean.
Statue of Liberty. There was kind of a moment where what's his name says, "Hey Peter," and they're like, "Which one? Me, him?" And they're kind of pointing around at each other. I thought that was a fun way to kind of allude to that meme that we all kind of got to giggle out of once or twice here and there. But
yeah.
I didn't. I thought I actually kind of enjoyed the way they did it rather than doing a straight up like scene where they were all kind of pointing at each other confused. I actually kind of like the way they did it a lot more. But I mean, yeah, the meme is a great way to kind of put out there that you're doing this, that the big release, digital and for the physical media, is coming up here pretty quickly. So yeah. You guys can go to it was I forget who it was. It was Sony Entertainment's the Spider-Man No Way Home Twitter page. They have their own Twitter page, of course. You guys can go there and find it. We'll put it up here again for you guys to glance at. But yeah, so and obviously go to SonyPictures.com to pre-order your stuff digitally. Or keep an eye out on your local shelves for the movie. This is one of the movies I'm definitely going to have on physical media, because I like to have some movies still on physical media, just to make sure I have around. But yeah, I thought it was fun. I looked at this and you were the first one I thought of, because you were always, I think going into the film, you were like, if they don't take advantage of that meme and give us some weird scene of the film, it's going to be a terribly missed opportunity.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw this, I was like,
I'm glad they saved it for a promotional thing. So I was kind of like you said in the movie, they kind of did like Peter's like, yeah, me, him, you, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, I can live with that. They at least kind of did it, and I'm like, no, they flat out did it, and it's like, hey, guess what? Buy this movie. I'm like, you don't have to tell me.
They look like action figures in the picture. They don't look like actual humans.
I honestly thought they looked a little Photoshop. I'll put it back up here again.
They literally look like little action figures on a little photo box for taking pictures of them. They don't look like real people.
Maybe that'll be part of the box art for the movie. Just be them pointing at each other.
Well, they've gotten a lot of shit over the last couple of weeks because they've released some of the box art for the DVDs, and a lot of people are really unimpressed. I'm like, I don't really give a shit about the box art. I give a shit about the movie. But sometimes you kind of want the box art to be significant. You want it to reach a certain level. You know what I mean? I mean, ultimately, I really don't care. I'm gonna go get it anyway. But still, I think it's. I don't understand why people are giving them shit. I mean, just buy the movie. Most people have already seen it 4 or 5 times in the theater anyway. So who really cares about the box art? But yeah, it is really fun. Actually, it's a pretty smart marketing tool if you think about it. To go ahead and take that picture in the photo shoot with all 3 of them, and then kind of release it now. Yeah, BG. At the same, honestly, as I looked at that picture, I looked at a really good quality copy of the picture, and it looked like they had photoshopped their heads onto like some mannequin bodies or just like some models that were standing there wearing the Spider-Man suits, because it doesn't look quite right, and I'm kind of wondering why they looked kind of funny. But I mean, I'm just gonna take it at face value. I'm just glad they released the picture, so I'm happy to see it. And so yeah, I mean, go down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. I mean, did you dig the picture? Were you excited? Does it matter? I didn't really need it. I'm gonna go buy this thing when it comes out anyway. I didn't really need it, but it is nice to see.
I think it's more for them as actors.
It's fun to play. It's fun to play in the meta a little bit, and I think that's what this is. They're playing in the meta, and I'm just glad to see these guys are having fun with it. I'm glad to see Sony's having fun with it, and they're not being so uptight and too serious about it, but. Yeah, I mean, have some fun. Give that little bit of fan service goes a long way sometimes, especially if you do it right. And I thought this was good fan service. But that's just me. Go down in the comments and let us know what you guys think. Did you guys kind of like the tweet? Are you guys going to go buy it on DVD? I know sure as hell I am. And yeah, go down in the comments and let us know what you guys think. Lady Cora, now that we've gotten some of the smaller stories out of the way, let's go on one of the big stories. What's next?
Well, I
think next you should turn up your fucking volume. I'm getting tired of people fucking messaging me that they can't hear Frank.
Actually, mine is down a little low because it was like super high last time.
I know it's a fine balance. Now we sound like you usually do. Apparently, just you know.
Oh well.
You sound
I
completely fine to
messaged
me.
you
I
on
don't know.
Twitter a while back, but I didn't think you'd know if you'd seen it.
I'm not looking at
Right.
Okay. Well, the Hawaiian shirt, curly mop of hair, and accordion are all there in the first look image of Daniel Radcliffe in characters Weird Al Yankovic. Radcliffe stars as the 5-time Grammy winner in Weird, the Al Yankovic story. With the first look image, Radcliffe offered a statement, quote, "Wearing the Hawaiian shirt is a huge responsibility I don't take lightly, and I'm honored to finally share with the world the absolutely 100% unassailable true story of Weird Al's depraved and scandalous life," end quote. Frank, what do you think of the first look at Radcliffe as Weird Al?
I fucking love this. How do you not love it? There's nothing
It's
about this
stupid as
project.
fuck.
There's nothing
It's
about
stupid
this
as fuck.
project not to love. It's like
Everything about it is not to love. I
Weird
don't
Al-
give a fuck about Weird Al's life, and Harry Potter is not the person to play him. The picture looks like a Halloween costume gone wrong.
Well, remember,
I'm sorry, I'm hating on it.
they're not making this movie to win an Oscar. They're making this movie
Clearly.
purely just to have fun. And that's one of the things that I dig about getting someone like Daniel Radcliffe involved. It's like, yes, look, past the Harry Potter stuff, as good as he is in that, he's actually become a very, very good actor. And
I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying he's
so-
not the one to play this part. in
Yeah,
my
but
opinion.
he's not taking it seriously either. Weird Al's not taking this thing seriously. They're just out there having fun, which kind
Weird Al
of
wrote the
embodies
screenplay.
which kind of
I mean, he is
embodies
taking it
everything
seriously.
Weird Al's career has even been. I think it all kind of makes perfect sense. I think it comes together perfectly. And this
Well,
image that's on the screen
you and
now-
I are on opposite sides of the coin, and that's just that, but that's okay.
That's the thing, though. Remember, they're probably making this movie for bus fare. I mean, they got into the couch at the studio, grabbed whatever change they could find, and that's the budget for making this movie. So it doesn't have to be awesome. It doesn't have to be an Oscar contender. It's just got to be a fun story. And if it's 75% true to what's actually happened in Weird Al's life, I am 100% fine with that. Because he is kind of a weird, interesting character in and of himself. And I am actually curious as to some of the things they will look into, because he has had a little bit of tragedy in his life. Both his mom and dad passed away at the same time because there was a carbon monoxide leak in the house that he had just bought them or something like that. I mean, so despite the fact that he's always had this aura of kind of goofiness, slamming these songs, making fun of them, stuff like that, he has had some tough times in his life, and he's had some drama. The whole thing with Coolio about doing doing a spoof of Gangster's Paradise. I mean, these are all things that he took very, very seriously. So they're significant things in life, but they're also still he just kind of lives a life that is fun, and let's have fun making this. That's kind of what I get when I see Daniel Radcliffe coming out of a trailer wearing that horrendous shirt with the wig on and the mustache. And I really dig this image that's on the screen right now. This this set pic of him playing the accordion and getting down with some fucking polka on stage. This can't be anything other than awesome, especially if you're somebody who grew up listening to Weird Al like I did.
Maybe I'm biased because I don't like his music.
Well, I mean, I get it. I mean, Weird Al's he's never been a serious musician. I mean, he's made his entire career making fun of other people's music, but I mean...
And then the article about it is like, I don't care about who he fucked that was a celebrity, but they want to go into his sex life in this. It's like, I don't want to know about his sex life.
I don't think he really had a sex life. I think it's all just...
Why did they talk about,
because
quote,
it's marketing.
salacious celebrity love affairs?
Because he's never been salacious. That's the humor of it all. Is he's probably one of the only honest brokers that's existed in Hollywood the last 30 years. It's like he's never really had any scandal. He's never had like a dick pic online. He's never had a sex tape. He's never had rape allegations. I mean, the guy has been the straightest arrow in entertainment since he's been in entertainment. Everybody else, you could hang something on him. This guy, he just does what he does for fun.
Do you think it's all bullshit?
I think that the image that he puts forward is often bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the salaciousness of his life, I think a lot of that's marketing for the movie. I mean,
Let's hope.
That's why I wonder. I wonder exactly, is this going to be kind of a spoof of his own career? Because that would make perfect sense to me. I don't know how how into some of this stuff, like the loss of his parents. I know he's had a couple of things that were newsworthy, that were kind of tragedies in his life that he got through, and just kind of kept pushing forward and kept making, the spoof songs and stuff. But yeah, I'm all about it. Seeing these images, I think it's fun, and I think Daniel Radcliffe, it just shows how cool he is. That he's like, yeah, I'll get paid at scale to do this. He's like, I'll make $1,500 and maybe a couple back end points just to do this small independent fun movie, because I would imagine he's a fan of Big Al Yankovic as well.
The Hulu angle makes me think it's like more like TV movie.
Yeah, it's going to be on Roku TV, which I didn't even know Roku.
Oh,
had TV.
I said Hulu.
Yeah, it's on.
Sorry, my mistake.
It's going to be on Roku TV. I didn't even know Roku TV had a thing, but. I mean, I'll have to find it I'll have to pay at least a month to see this movie when it comes out. But, I mean, yeah, this is fun. It's like, if he's spoofing himself, that makes perfect sense. I mean, that's exactly what we'd expect him to do. But again, I am kind of curious as to what aspects of his life they'll go into. Because there were a couple of things that are not positive, funny things that he had to deal with, like the death of his parents. I think his sister had something happen to her as well. I don't recall, it was so many years ago, and I haven't really read about it in a long time. But I love these images. I think they're great, especially that one right there of Daniel Radcliffe jamming away on the accordion on the stage. If you're a Weird Al fan, you've got to love it. It's fun. Jeremy, what do you think?
You guys done?
You're the tiebreaker here.
Well, I like Daniel Radcliffe. I like Weird Al. And I mean, if that's just the irony that he's making fun of himself, I mean, if you want to quote Family Guy, specifically the Bill Clinton character, he's like, oh, well, if you can't laugh at yourself. I mean, you gotta have fun with it. I mean, at least you're gonna make kind of, when you look back at some of the stuff in your life, you can make light of it a little bit. Just make some, some goofy, funny shit about it. I mean, why not? And I've since moved away from the fact that Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter. Like, I know he's Harry Potter, but, like, it took a while. But, like, yeah, like Frank said, he's become a pretty respectable actor. I've already kind of forgotten in some movies, like, the first movie he did, like, The Woman in Black, or whatever the fuck it was, it opens up on this gloomy, dreary, like, rainy, he's on a train. I'm like, okay, you're not up to a good start. This is your first movie out of fucking Harry Potter, and the first thing you're doing is running a goddamn train through England in the fucking rain. I'm like, dude, come on. Although, I mean, by like the next, I don't know, next scene or 2 hours, that movie was pretty good. It really took me out of it, so. I don't know, I think it'd be a fun time, because, if you've ever seen that little bit with him and Jimmy Fallon, where he's fucking just singing Black Alicia's as alphabetic aerobics, I mean, I know it's off-putting to see Harry Potter do shit like that. And I know we just call him that, we don't call him Daniel Radcliffe. I think that's part of the problem. But no, he's he's more than that, and that's what I think this will be fun. Remember, I had one of the first CDs I ever had burned for me was a fucking whole thing of Weird Al, which is kind of what got me into it more so, because like I knew all the classics, but friend made me that CD, and I just had to listen to that thing on repeat so many times.
How do you not laugh at Like a Surgeon?
That's what I mean. Sometimes I don't even actually know the lyrics to the actual song. I forget, and I'll just start singing the Weird Al. I'll stop myself and realize, like, oh, I'm singing the Weird Al version, damn it. Because I know that one's so much better than the song it's parodying. Making fun of!
Yeah. Spoofing.
Yes, that it is a parody of. I can't talk today. Don't mind me.
Yeah, Corey Warbridge thinks, look, Weird Potter. Talk that talk. What up, Heist Man, my man? He says he looks weird. He's a little buff for Al. He is a little buff. The one thing that I can
in short,
myself,
let's be honest.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Well, isn't Weird Al like fucking 6'2"?
Weird Al is very, very tall. I think he's like 6'5" or 6'6", and
I was like, that's not really fair.
I think Radcliffe's only like 6 foot at the tallest. But,
maybe.
Alex the Garbage Man says he's on the fence about it. He loves Daniel Radcliffe, what he's done post Harry Potter. He's excited to see the film, but he's also hesitant about it. Like I said, if it's Weird Al being Weird Al about his own career, I think it makes perfect sense. How else would he approach this? Let's see, what else is weird? He's Talk That Talk says Weird Al's always been an accomplishment or goal to me when I did music. I felt like if he parodied one of my songs, it was dope. I mean, that's been the benchmark. That's how you know you've arrived as a singer or as a band, is if Weird Al spoofs one of your songs. It's become a badge of honor in the entertainment industry. So yeah, I mean, you're not the only one that thinks like that. Let's see. Cora finally watched Caddyshack. What did you think of Caddyshack, by the way?
I watched it. I laughed. I really enjoyed Chevy Chase.
See, we just talked about Rodney Dangerfield, damn it. What do you think?
Bill Murray's roles. I probably would not watch it again, but I'm glad I watched it once. Watched it with one of my favorite people in the world, and we had a great time, and I don't know. I've watched it.
You watch it. That's the important part. Watch it once.
I laughed. A lot of titties, but I didn't care about that so much. My biggest gripe was that you don't know what happens to the kid. You don't know if he goes to the lumber mill to work. You don't know if he goes to college. You get no follow through.
Well, we're waiting.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see Daniel Radcliffe do this.
And I did love the groundhog. I nicknamed him Scotty.
Everybody loves the groundhog. Everybody loves the groundhog.
I want a little stuffed animal version of that for my desk.
I used to have one of those ones that you would press the button, it would dance and shimmy. And
that would scare me.
I used to have one of those, and it would play "I'm Alright" by Kenny Loggins. But I'm really excited to see Daniel Radcliffe play Weird Al. I mean, obviously this is not going to be a movie that's going to be considered for an Oscar. They're just making a movie, and I have a feeling what they're probably going to do is it's going to be Weird Al spoofing his own career, and that's fine by me. I think that's a fun way to look at this whole thing, and it seems like the most appropriate way, because if somebody like Scorsese were to direct a biopic about Weird Al Yankovic, it might come off a little way too serious. I don't think Weird Al would want that. I think he wants his career. I think he wants us to look at his life as a spoof. That just kind of fits his character that he's built for himself. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm excited to see it. Go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. Are you excited to see Daniel Radcliffe play Weird Al Yankovic in Weird: The Al Yankovic Story? I'm ready for it. Bring this on. And the fact that it's going to be an independent thing, I think it's going to be out soon, I think. Because there's not going to be a whole lot of special effects to do. Post-production shouldn't be all that hard. I think this is going to be out by the end of the year. Which is really exciting for me. I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
No doubt. But before we move on, I do want to remind you guys, we do have a Patreon. And for just $5 a month, if you support us for just $5 a month, that is, we give away $25 in free movie tickets every month. And this is not really to help support the production companies. It's really just to help support the your local theaters. Theaters took a really big hit during the pandemic. We look like we're slowly getting to the end of it, which is very good. And I really want to try to get you guys back out there to the movie theater to help support all those people that work at the box office and at the concession stands. These are all people that are just working their way through life like we are. So let's go out and support them. And for just $25 a month, for just $5 a month, you get a chance to win $25 in free movie tickets for supporting us on Patreon. We appreciate that. The link is in the description below if you want to go support us on there. Thank you very much if you do. And Lady Cora, what's the next story we're talking about today?
That would be something right up Jeremy's alley. It's the final curtain call for the most famous final girl. Iconic scream queen Jamie Lee Curtis confirmed that filming on her part of the production of Halloween Ends is wrapped, marking the end of her turn as Laurie Strode. A bittersweet end, a bittersweet end for me on the Halloween movies, Curtis captioned on Instagram February 22nd. I've made great friends and have collaborated with wonderful artists on these 3 movies, and today my part in the film has been completed, and with it, the end for me of this trilogy. Curtis will shut the door on Haddonfield forever in the next Halloween installment, which is directed by David Gordon Green. The third name makes me think of a serial killer, but anyways. And opens from Universal on October 14th. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on Jamie Lee Curtis filming her last ever scenes as Laurie Strode?
I'm gonna take a lot of this with a grain of salt because it's always the end. It's always the end. You said 3 movies. I'm pretty sure there were 5, but whatever. Pretty sure we ended this about 20 years ago, but whatever. Not really. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, sure, this is going to probably, now that it's been, 40 years since, 40 and some change since the original movie. And, we've, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's ended a couple times. Michael escaped, he got blown up, he got shot, he got fucking, he's been through the fucking mill. We even hacked his head off, and we're like, psych. No, we didn't. I'm like, yeah, because it makes money. And then you know what? I will say it is still now. Although we're not going to talk about it. Apparently, I'm assuming Frank didn't watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It finally surpassed this movie's fuckery of continuity. I think it finally surpassed Halloween, which I didn't think would happen. It was close. I don't even know what the fuck that's doing. I don't know why I picked the dumbest things to be the biggest fan of, but not dumb, you know what I mean. Things that I'm like, I have to look back and be like, yeah, but come on, it's a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like this would be a nice, it'll be a nice send off and whatever. I'm willing to accept that these are the three movies. I don't know. Not that the other ones, I guess, don't matter, but it was a fun time, I guess. Hanging up the. I almost said hanging up the cape. I don't really know what to say. Hanging up the coveralls, hanging up the mask, the knife. I don't know. But as we all know, it's not going to be the end. There'll be remakes, there'll be reboots, they'll do this again in 30 years. So.
Yeah, but it won't be with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well, they already did do that. Remember, like Rob Zombie remade the movies, and it wasn't her.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Well, I'm like, we're still going to keep doing this. However, for the OG, for the OG Scream Queen, this if it's a big send off, it's going to be a fun time. It's probably going to be wild. I mean, I can't wait. I want to see what happens in this fucking movie. I was excited when they said this was going to be the arc. There's this little trilogy here. And given how the last one ended, I mean, whew. I don't want to say more spoilers, but a lot of people died.
a lot of big name people.
Evil did not end that night.
Not that night.
Don't matter.
Unfortunately, for all the chanting they did for the last hour and a half of the movie.
No matter how many times you fucking say it.
Yeah. This is kind of the end of an era. I mean, look, you can't go back in time. It's not possible. And the saddest part about that fact is that you can't go back and go to the purer times of some things. To me, the horror genre was at its peak in the 70s and into the 80s. When Jamie Lee Curtis was making, the first Halloween movie in the late 70s, the Nightmare on Elm Street original couple of movies, the original Friday the 13th, things like that. They were the best horror movies, and I've said it 100 times. My favorite horror movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know, Casey. I've been meaning to do that. I got to send you and Cora, both yours. But but I think it's great that. I think it's great that she managed that she was able to come back, and there was a story that she liked that does work very well in line with the original. And that's one of the nicest things about all this. Now, are these great movies? Are they, Gone with the Wind? No, but they're not supposed to be. These couple movies that came out, and I'm sure that this next one coming out later this year is going to fit in very, very well with the original. That's all I wanted. It doesn't need to be so much better. It doesn't need to be on a grander scale. It just needs to work very well with that movie, and the stories need to fit. This fits. I mean, because think about it. Where do you think Laurie Strode would be right now? What kind of a mindset do you think she'd be in 40 years after her brother walked around chopping people in half in her small hometown? It's like...
Wasn't her brother, though?
Well,
remember, that didn't happen.
Well, whatever. I don't
know. See what I mean?
But the first movie, remember? The other movies don't matter, right?
No, it wasn't even just her brother in that movie. It was just, oh my god, this deranged fucking killer is just killing people. They made it her brother, like, fucking in the... It wasn't 3, for sure, because that had nothing to do with anything.
Well, you see, this
that one we can leave out. 3 didn't happen. Well, that fucking never happened.
We'll just call it time travel. It's just another trope that we have to deal with. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even just time travel. It's just, goddamn it, make the shit make sense. Quit making... There's a reason why there were sequels. Diminishing return or not, but, like...
We lost Cora again. Here she
is. Yeah, and we got her back. Okay.
But...
diminishing returns or not, but, like, fucking... You can't just be like, hey, this happened. Nothing happened for 30 to 40 years. Boom, we're back. I'm like, okay, that gets kind of annoying.
But you know what? Honestly, have these last 2 movies, have they not been better than the rest of the shit that we got from the series?
They're great.
I'm one of the people that liked the H2O thing, where she was the headmistress of some school and her daughter was there, and it had fucking whoever, and Busta Rhymes or somebody was in it. It was like Josh
Yeah.
Hartnett's big break, that kind of thing. And I actually kind of like that movie.
And Jamie Lee Curtis's mom was in it too, and that was the last role she did, I think, before she passed away. And it was cool they got to be on screen together for at least one more time. That was pretty fucking cool.
You know,
so
she did Jamie Lee Curtis did a photo shoot where she dressed like her mom from The Birds, which I thought was really cool.
Nice.
Oh wow,
that's awesome.
You know what I've got? Let me see if I can find it. Keep talking for a second, but
that's cool.
But yeah, I mean, again, it is the end of an era. We can't go back in time to do this stuff. Let me see if I got that picture. Hold on one second. Here it is. For those of you who don't know, Janet Leigh is Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, and Janet Leigh was in a lot of Hitchcock movies. She was the girl that was in the shower in the original Psycho, the whole
amazing actress.
And she did, here it is right here, a small photo shoot of her dressed up like her mother from, I think it's The Birds, as I recall.
Tippi Hedren was The Birds.
That was Tippi Hedren. But anyway, yeah, she does right there. She dresses up like her mother right there. You guys can see it. And I saw that picture and I was like, holy shit, that's pretty awesome. She actually does look a lot like her. Once you see it like
from
that,
The Birds.
there are some...
That is Psycho. That's Janet Leigh from...
That's
That's Psycho, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's her.
It's been a long time since I've seen a movie in black and white. I'd really go back and watch a few. But, yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool picture. When
it's because she's got the shower curtain draped over her arm, and I'm pretty sure that's...
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. That's still cool, though.
Yeah, but, yeah, I thought that picture was pretty dope when I saw it. But... yeah, it is. It really is the end of an era, and it's sad. Yeah, eventually they're probably going to reboot this thing. They're going to find somebody else to play Laurie Strode, and it's going to take place in the modern day instead of all the way back in the 70s or whatever, and it's probably not going to be nearly as good. They're probably just going to make it a shot-for-shot remake, which would be the biggest disappointment of them all.
Yeah, they did do that with Psycho, and that was a bad fucking idea.
Yeah, that would... shot-for-shot remakes never work.
That's nothing against Vince Vaughn, but I'm like, dude, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
remake something.
Shot-for-shot remakes never work. They never work. Like that Footloose movie that came out a couple years ago was a shot-for-shot remake.
I still refuse to watch that.
It was
see, because I didn't watch it either. I was like, I don't want to ruin it.
Did they show the girl getting hit under the bleachers?
I only watched about 20 minutes of that movie.
I had a feeling they...
And I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't even bring myself to start it.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin it for myself.
But,
the soundtrack, Blake Shelton is not... No.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't touch the soundtrack in the original movie.
I mean, come on. Kenny Loggins. Come on.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, to me, Jamie Lee Curtis is one of those first, like, really, really strong woman characters. I mean, she's not the first final girl, but I mean, maybe... one of the most significant in the horror genre. You know what I mean?
She is the Scream Queen, but she is not the OG final girl. That's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're back again. No, yeah, that's like I said. She's an icon. Just period. Like Frank always says, a Hall of Famer for sure.
Well, because this isn't the only horror film she's ever acted in. She's done 3 or 4 other.
Night.
Yeah, she's done 3 or 4 other horror properties, and that's kind of one of the things that made her terribly famous. And on top of that, she's a damn fine actress. I mean, go watch A Fish Called Wanda, which was one of my favorite movies with her in it. That's a fantastic kind of comedy.
That's in my top 25 movies.
Oh, that's a great movie. All-star cast, yes. Great stuff.
But Jeremy has not seen it. We need to make him watch it and do a retro review.
We should. That's a great movie. I'll have to watch that again recently because as I was just flipping through some news and stuff like that, doing a little bit of research, I just the name of the movie popping up. I was like, oh yeah, that movie's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna go with what Corey just said. True Lies. True Lies is a fucking hilarious movie.
Movie. Good movie.
Tom Arnold is actually really good in it.
Everybody in that movie was perfectly cast.
I love Tom Arnold. Arnold Schwarzenegger is just dynamic. They're just kind of buddies, but they're kind of dicks to each other. I love it.
Yeah, that movie's
a great
awesome.
movie.
And then to top it off, look, she is still gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like some women age well. Some women are just like, I'm still fucking hot. I don't give a fuck if I'm... What is she? She's in her 60s now, right?
I thought she was in her 70s.
I don't know. I would have guessed 70s.
I don't know. All I know is she's still gorgeous. She is still absolutely gorgeous. But I guess when, you're just good at what you do and you're happy in your life and where you're at and you're an icon, you just look good. I guess it shows through.
So she's 63. I thought she was older than that.
Oh well, she still looks great. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
she can still kick it. She can still throw fucking hands with Michael Myers. Bring it. I would with her.
Well, she laid in the hospital bed for about 90% of the movie, but whatever.
That's true.
Semantics.
She does have an arsenal as big as what I'd like to have in the movie, anyway.
I mean, yeah, she was fucking out there just shooting targets all day and fucking had her house booby trapped all to hell.
Yeah.
Man. Now, she might come full circle again. This is Halloween Ends. And like we kept saying, we want to see her and Michael like really get down to the fucking a gritty toe-to-toe. I mean, holy shit.
Absolutely. Anyway, go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think about the end of an era. The last scenes for Jamie Lee Curtis as the character of Laurie Strode have been filmed and shot. Now, the film is not done with production yet. They are still doing some principal photography. What she's saying is that all of her scenes have been shot, and she is now done with the production on her own. So there is still some stuff to be filmed. But that comes out October, 17th? Is that what they said? Anyway, October of this year.
14th.
Yeah, 14th. October of this year is when we're going to be getting Halloween Ends. Halloween.
Man, I'll be in like peak fucking haunted house season 2.
I was about to say, you'll be busy.
Oh yeah, I'll be busy and I'll be hyped as shit for this. Trust me.
I may get
Remember last year when we thought the Halloween movie then was the end, and we had a very similar conversation about...
I'm kind of like, well, that can't be. That can't be. Surprise!
Here we go again.
See, and it makes it fun because like those movies do come out around, obviously around Halloween time. And there's this kid that works down there in the cave too, and he's also, I mean, like he's 10 years younger than me, but he's also like 6'1", he's fucking tall. And he wears that outfit sometimes. He wears this Michael outfit, and we have one of the rooms in hell, the path that is called Myers. And it leads to him. He's in a pitch dark. You just stand there. You see the mask. You see him with the knife stand there, and it freaks people the fuck out. And people love it when they go see that movie, and then they're like, "Oh my god, it's gotta be Myers." I'm like, "Yeah, because the movie came out. We'd be that obvious." Yeah, go down there.
I'm gonna dress up like Michael Myers. I'm gonna pre-buy my ticket. I'm just gonna walk in there in full uniform with a machete. In a full jumpsuit and a mask. I'm just going to walk in real slow, lumbering. I'm just going to sit in my seat and sit down there and just watch the whole movie and not move. And then when the movie's over, I'm just going to get up and slowly walk out and give people shitty looks.
Yeah, if Frank makes it into the theater, we see the next day the host of the Car's Truth is put in jail for causing a panic.
Hey, you know what? Worth it. Think about what kind of
his only quote, worth it.
Think about the kind of publicity that bring to the show, though. Worth it.
Good or otherwise, I guess. Yeah. Jesus.
We just get a look at Millennial Falcon parts.
What? Well, yeah. There's 2 fucking Lego pieces here, But
Yay! See, I'm paying attention.
I mean, there's parts all over this one. Oh, quick note on that. Actually, I figured out if we continue to do 2 bags a week, we will end exactly on April 5th when the game comes out. So that will be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, obviously it'll be uneven because there's 17, so it'll be 1 bag on the day of April 5th. So, but that'll be nice. It's like, hey, here's the last bag. That's it. This is a big momentous occasion. Boom, now we're done. So, but if we do 2 sets of bags every week, and then the last week we do, the last one.
What would happen if you opened all the bags and put them in a giant tote?
I think it would have to be a giant tote, like a big tub.
No, and then try to figure out what parts go where without them being in bags.
Then they
I'll see you guys for the
2175.
Yeah, I'll see you guys at the end of the year again for the Halloween because I'll still be working on this fucking thing. Jesus. No, it's sitting literally. It's right here, like my knee is on the table right here. It's holding up my box, which is coming up later. But yeah, that's. Yeah, no, it's cool. I think I'm probably going to go back to the store. They said you can preload the game like 2 days early, which is wild. So like on the 3rd. So I'll definitely have it done. So I wouldn't say maybe I'll start the game that same day, maybe. But I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there just in case, because more people seem to watch this show than the other thing we're doing, even though it's on the same channel. So. That's right, I called you all out. Fake fans.
Come watch the millennials put together the.
I know you did. I know. So funny.
Yeah, Heisman in the chat saying.
Just like my. Good.
Heisman in the chat saying he's into a video when I get shot. I can hear him right now. I'd be like, "What up, Doe? Man, Hoss Truth got shot walking up in the theater, man. What was this dude thinking of?"
Yeah, and you think
That'd be
that's
kinda
funny because my mom did say, yes, I do have a giant thing of fucking Legos down there. That's from my childhood. If there is a way to maybe find... It'd be a big fucking task, but if I could take them all and actually put them all back together again, that'd be wild. Because I was sitting on the stream, if you saw it, if you were there, like a real fan, I was talking about this one set I used to have that was like old, and I say old, but it was weird seeing the difference in how like the build. It seems so simple, or just like not as simple. It was so cool. Like I know we're building this thing, which is the most intricate damn thing I've ever seen, but it's how we've like the rules of like how we've built stuff with Legos and how you use different. It's like even in Minecraft, you how angles and how things work and how you can kind of like twist things to make it look like like right here. I can tell you that's a jackhammer, that's a wrench, that's a fucking But I'm like, once you back up, I'm like, oh, it just looks like little bits and pieces. It's how you use things now compared to then. And as a kid, I thought it was the coolest damn thing ever. It was this cool little adventure like propeller plane. I'm done talking. I'm sorry.
They give me a chance to do
I
some
have
production
Legos
stuff.
from the 80s.
Okay.
And I still have the little...
You still have the little what?
The little.
Where'd you go? Oh crap!
Yeah.
Oh,
Discord
that's a
issues
fucked.
again.
That's a fucked up cliffhanger, man. I was wanting to hear what it was.
Jeremy's like, wait a minute. No!
No! Oh, shit!
Drop
Damn
the
it.
hats!
It cut off. You're like, hey, I have one of those, and it stopped. I'm like, no! What was it?
One of those Lego briefcases from the 80s, and it was red. I still have it. And it opens up like a briefcase with two things that open, and it pops up. And then you can fill it with whatever Legos you want. It has a handle and a carrying case.
That's awesome.
I still have. When I get back to Oregon and I find it in storage, I'll take some pictures because I've saved that shit.
Right on.
And like, I have little Lego men from the 80s.
I was gonna say, hold on to some of those figures, man, because I think no, that's in the game. Actually, a cool side note is in the game. They're actually, I'm telling all 9 of you, if that's even correct right now in the chat and the thing, go big or go home with this game. Trust me, get the deluxe edition. It's 10 extra bucks, and get it on physical disc. It's gonna come with all the DLCs, all the characters. And my point to where I'm getting to is the original Luke Skywalker figure that it had is one of the first, like, I guess, deviations they made in a Lego set or a Lego piece where they're like, hey, it's not just like the normal yellow with the little 2 eyes in the mouth. It's slightly different. It's kind of it's a special. It's a collector figure now, but they're doing that in the game too as playable characters. You can have like the classic, like actual minifigure Lego versions of them in the game. So like you can have the original Luke Skywalker figure in the game. There's like a Lando, a Han, a Leia. That might actually be it. But no, like I thought it was really cool. Like they're doing stuff like that. I mean, go watch the little it's like 5 minutes. Go watch like the behind the scenes thing they did for IGN like a week ago. It's really wild to see.
I don't think I've owned a Lego in 30 years.
I love my Legos so much I could never part with them.
I have about 15 or 20 of those really giant Lego blocks that my nephew plays with when he comes over.
I got rid of my high school yearbooks, but I kept my Legos. That should tell you something.
Right.
The Legos are way more valuable.
Right. I was still doing that in high school. Yeah, like now see.
Sentimental value to the yearbooks, but there is no more Legos.
I've still got this little microfighter Falcon that's just sitting in here for the the crazy thing is that this thing still fits inside that one cargo room in this Falcon over here. If everybody saw the picture.
Aww.
If anyone saw the picture, the whole microfighter Falcon, which I think is actually my smallest official set of a Falcon, fits inside the largest damn one that we have. Well, that's kind of fun. And if it does, his head actually clears the thing.
Nice.
So if that is just an empty cargo room, I might just put that in there just for giggles because that's just too damn funny not to. So. See, and even that Han's different than that one. That one's that's the episode 4 with the like kind of tan shirt, and that one's episode 5
Mhm.
with the blue jacket, but whatever. Those figures are cool. 'Cause it's got the little oxygen masks on them too. That's why those are kind of sweet.
Nice.
You got all your stuff done, Frank? Because I could just bullshit about this for the next hour.
I was just letting you go. I'm just using it as like a little plug for the whole millennials building the Falcon thing that you guys have been doing.
Well, I sure fucking hope so, because I'm like, hey, every Tuesday, fuck it. If no one knows, every Tuesday on this very same channel that you are all watching right now, about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have been building the UCS, which I totally forgot stands for Ultimate Collector's Edition or Series. Yeah, series. Still in the box right in front of me. This is the Ultimate Collector Series, Millennium Falcon, which is, I have this off the top of my head now, 7,541 pieces. It is an absolute monster. We just got, I guess, pretty much the basic frame of what, the shape you see of the whole Falcon. And we've been doing this leading up to the release of the Lego Skywalker Saga game, which is all 9 movies. It's, I think it's even Clone Wars, Mandalorian, Ahsoka probably later, although that's in Clone Wars. It might even have Rebels, Bad Batch, Rogue One, Solo. They might throw Obi-Wan in there as a DLC later. Who knows? Like, this is a massive game. It's wild. I mean, trust me. Don't take my word for it. Just go look it up. And if you're the least bit into Lego and also Star Wars, this is going to be some wild stuff, and we're going to be streaming that game after we finish with this, which I just found out, if we play our cards right, will be done on the very day that game releases, and we'll just segue right into that. That, however, will probably be on my actual Twitch channel, not on here, so sorry. Good to move over there again.
So go follow him on Twitch for all the gaming stuff that he's going to be doing.
A lot of Legos and a lot of Star Wars.
A lot of Legos, a lot of Star Wars. He's going to be playing through 9 episodes of Star Wars, plus 4 or 5 other probably.
Well, there's
shows.
Yeah, and there's also, I don't know what the number is anymore. They say 300 plus, and I've heard someone say they had trouble keeping under 400 playable characters. So I mean, I've actually never, even on old games, I've never actually 100%ed a game. This would be wild if we actually do this. I'm not doing it by myself, too. That's the thing. Also with this Falcon.
I don't think I've ever actually 100%ed any game.
I know Zach over there has, like Jack and Daxter, and I can't remember. He's done a few. I mean, it's not like, it's hard sometimes, man. Some of these newer games now, there's so much shit to do. So, I mean, an older game like that, yeah, that's still a feat, but, man, if this is the first one, I mean, holy crap, I'll give it my damn best. This would be a really fun one to stream constantly.
We'll be plugging his channel at the end of the show, so make sure you go subscribe to all of his stuff.
Yes.
And Lady Cora, what is our next main topic?
Well, if you're a World War II buff, you'll appreciate this. Cillian Murphy is one of the fathers of the atomic bomb in the first look at Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's biopic of J. Robert Oppenheimer. The Universal feature, which has started production in New Mexico, is also added Kenneth, I'm going to say it wrong, Branagh to the call sheet, along with actor Michael Angarano. Murphy will portray Oppenheimer, one of the fathers of the A-bomb during the Second World War, who later found his loyalty to the United States questioned by hawkish government officials. Oppenheimer is based on the 2005 Pulitzer Prize-winning book American Prometheus, The Triumph and Tragedy of J. Robert Oppenheimer by Kai Bird and the late Martin J. Sherwin. It will be Nolan's first movie in years not made with a longtime studio home, Warner Brothers. Frank, what do you think of the first poster and pictures?
First off,
by the way, I saw the preview. And let me tell you, it looks very dramatic.
Yeah, I think Warner fucked up big time by chasing off Nolan. They fucked up.
You don't realize what you had. Like I said, he's one of my favorite, I don't say new anymore, but he's one of my favorite directors, period. And I think, y'all fucked up real big. It's just like when, on the gaming side, it's like when they chased out Kojima. And he went to Sony, and he was like, ha, fuck you guys.
Have you guys seen the cast list for this movie?
Yes. I actually looked it up when you sent me this.
Let me As a visual, let me put this on the screen. Okay, we've got Kenneth Branagh, who by himself is a god. Florence Pugh, who we just saw recently in Hawkeye. We saw her in Black Widow, who is awesome. Emily Blunt, who is an Oscar contender in almost everything she does. Josh Hartnett. Josh Hartnett. It's nice to see him back in something. I haven't seen him in a while. Jack Quaid, who we just saw in Scream as one of the killers, and who is also in The Boys on Amazon. Matt Damon is actually playing General Leslie Groves. Robert Downey Jr. is in it, playing Louis Strauss. Remy Malek, who just won an Oscar not too long ago for playing in Bohemian Rhapsody. Dane DeHaan, who's a great actor. David Krumholtz, who I used to watch all the time in Numbers and some other stuff. He's been in a lot of stuff. Matthew Modine, and somebody else who somebody not named. Jesus Christ! Right in the middle of a show, I got to draw a blank. Played Han Solo. Harrison Ford.
Oh, Alden Eldridge.
Yeah. Alden Ehrenreich is also in this movie. So it's like they're not just making a movie here. They're going balls out for an Oscar.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about Nolan is he's one of those directors where a guy like Robert Downey Jr., who is usually going to be a lead, he's just like, you know what? I'll go ahead and throw my name in there and play one of these supporting roles because I'm probably going to get an Oscar nomination just for being in this movie.
Well, he probably also wants to still keep playing down the whole Iron Man thing, like, you know, this is post Endgame, so he doesn't want to just keep leading these movies and, you know, steal away the spot. Not that Cillian Murphy isn't like amazing in his own right. I'm just saying he probably doesn't want to have the whole spotlight again, you know, the whole Iron Man thing. So
yeah, Heist in the chat saying exactly what most people have been thinking is that Josh Hartnett's still alive.
Yeah, you're right.
There was actually just a video. I didn't watch it, but it popped up in my feed on YouTube. It says, "Where is Josh Hartnett?" or something like that. I think it was a Joe Blow video about why Josh Hartnett hasn't been in a lot of stuff. But I'm thinking to myself, dude, he's going for the balls on this one, son. And not only that, but this movie looks absolutely freaking amazing. Like, I love that picture they released because we all know that iconic picture of Oppenheimer with a cigarette in his mouth. Like, check that shit out. I mean, that is scary close.
Yeah.
For one, Cillian Murphy's good anyway. I've watched a couple episodes of Peaky Blinders, and he's good in that. He's been good at everything I've seen him in. And, dude, this guy, I mean, this could be the movie that really puts him out there as an A-lister. I mean, that picture right there is absolutely amazing.
It's pretty good, yeah.
And also, they also did release the poster. Let me find it really quick.
Wasn't there also one of him, like, holding a pipe or something, like, in his hand, like, in his mouth or some shit?
Yeah, there's that one, too. I thought I put the poster on here. I didn't. Let me see if I get the poster on here really quick. But, yeah, they also released the first poster for this. And it had a lot of people wondering... That's not what I want to do. It had a lot of people wondering if this movie was going to be in black and white.
That's what I was wondering.
The poster... Now, I like the concept of it being in black and white because I think black and white... it lends a certain kind of elegance to a story that if you're trying to tell it a certain way.
It would remind me a lot of Schindler's List, which was phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
if it kind of had that, because I mean, you're still talking, you know, World War II era. If it still had that kind of not gritty, but like that kind of like that tone, because it would fit the movie very well.
Yeah, here's the first poster that's on the screen now.
I was like, what if this movie was in black and white, and then the fucking atomic bomb was the one thing that came up in color? That'd be fucking wild.
I heard something that they had actually tried to set off an atomic bomb to film for this movie.
Jeez.
Because, I mean, obviously, for those of you who aren't into like some of the political stuff surrounding it, most of these countries that have access to these weapons, they've signed treaties saying they're not going to test them anymore, mostly because you can computer model a lot of this stuff now. We have the technology, guys. Yeah, we have the ability to, hey, there's somebody in the chat getting all dickish. Somebody take care of that, please. But,
whoa, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, they're really coming at us today. But, yeah, they use computers now to model what would happen if a bomb went off here, there, anywhere, the kind of power and stuff it would generate, things like that. So nobody actually detonates weapons like that anymore for experimentation and data purposes. But
because Chris Nolan, he wants to do everything practical. I'm like, okay, that's the only part that scares me about that is he might actually want to do that.
But the atomic bomb, while it sounds terrible and is, is actually fairly small compared to like the thermonuclear bombs and stuff that we have strapped to missiles nowadays.
It's not even close.
So you can actually blow one of those up and not really do a whole lot of damage. And there was actually some talk that they might actually try to explode an atomic bomb somewhere to try to get actual footage, practical footage of it. I don't. It ended up not happening. Probably for it ended up not happening. Probably for the better. I mean, it would have been really, really cool to see it. But I think that we can do it now. In CGI and stuff without actually having to blow up any part of the Earth. So, I mean, it can be done. I mean, well, and honestly, what was it? Terminator 2. That whole scene where Sarah Connor's having her little dream sequence where she's seeing her and her young son playing at the park, and the whole thing goes off. It's like nuclear scientists have actually said that that's the most accurate depiction in film ever of what would happen if a nuclear bomb went off. And you got to think to yourself, if you had the technology to do it back in 1991, 92 when that movie came out, that you certainly have the technology to do it now on camera without actually having to blow anything up. Yeah. But it's this whole movie it sounds like it's gonna be bonkers. I mean, it's like I am so ready for this.
Yeah, this is something that would I mean, I'm a weird, I also grew up watching a lot of History Channel and shit like that. I'm into this kind of shit. I'm here for this. This is something I would really enjoy.
Yeah, set to release in North America July 21st of next year. So it's gonna be right in the middle of the summer movie season. And look, World War II is something that I've looked into a lot. I studied a lot of that in high school. I wrote a lot of papers on it and stuff to get grades, and I killed it. It's just always been a really, really interesting point in history to me. Especially
this is a big point in that history too.
Especially considering the odd ways that it compares to some of the stuff going on now out in the world. But I mean, it's this movie just looks like it's getting better and better and better when you look at that cast. I mean, Jesus Christ, Emily Blunt and Robert Downey Jr. are almost automatic Oscar contenders anyway. It was Kenneth Branagh, Dane DeHaan.
I hate to interrupt, but I'm not feeling well. I feel like I need to go.
Okay, well, you go ahead and go.
All right.
And so I'll have a good rest of the show. Sorry, guys, and I'll catch you later.
Okay, well, you go ahead and go. We'll cover the rest of it without you. Right. We're almost done.
Okay, all right.
You have a good night, Cora. But yeah, this show, this movie, dude, like I said, it's loaded. You never go wrong adding talent to anything.
This is going to be a big one. Nothing about this, there's no red flags, no nothing where I think, no, that could go wrong, or this might be kind of a bad idea. No, nothing about this screams that to me. So, this will be definitely a Oscar contender for sure.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with this movie. Get it out now. I mean, for one, it's Nolan. Nolan makes good shit.
Yes.
Nolan is not an average filmmaker. He makes good shit.
It's like I said, he became one of my favorites. Not only because he started off, but he did The Dark Knight, which is again not my top favorite, but it's in my top 5, and I will confidently say that top 5 movies. Period.
I believe. Let me read this real quick. Expected to include a shooting on IMAX 65mm and 65mm large format film.
That's what's cool. I like that. So it's going to have a certain feel to it, which I appreciate it.
His director of photography is Hoyt van Hoytema, who worked with him on Tenet, Dunkirk, and Interstellar. And if this movie looks like Dunkirk, I am all about that.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought Dunkirk was beautifully shot. That movie looked great from start to finish. And the same editors that worked with him on Tenet. So you
can add a movie like Tenet. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So he's got
me.
Yeah, he's got his crew together that makes some kick-ass movies.
Yeah,
so yeah, I'm ready for this one. I mean, look, this is going to be Cillian Murphy's coming out party. I think this movie's going to generate a ton of Oscar buzz. Honestly, I'm going to predict now that this movie's probably going to get pushed into August, because generally speaking, I mean. Well,
yeah, because we can't ever just say, "Hey, it's coming out this time."
Well, strategically speaking, if you're reaching for an Oscar, one of the things you want to do is, especially for movies like this that are a lot more dramatic and not necessarily comedic, you tend to push those back into the fall so that they're fresh on people's minds when Oscar voting season comes around at the end of the year. So I have a feeling this will probably get pushed back to August, but honestly, I don't care.
But if it's good enough, I mean, people aren't going to forget it.
True, but generally speaking, you want things to be fresh in people's minds.
Yeah.
It's like you tend to vote for what's right in front of you when it comes to these things, rather than what you actually like, because that's the new thing, the new toy. But yeah, I'm all about it. I mean, I think Cillian Murphy looks fantastic in this role, and Cora says she's seen some footage from it already. I have not seen any. I haven't been looking. I didn't realize they had put any out. But I'm gonna have to go look later tonight and see exactly what that looks like, because I'm really excited. I mean, again, loaded with talent, a killer subject matter, a killer director, one of the best in the business over the last 20 years. I'm ready. This sounds like all kinds of fun. But go down in the comments below, let us know what you guys think. Did you like how Cillian Murphy looked as Robert J. Oppenheimer, J. Robert Oppenheimer, however you pronounce it, J. Robert Oppenheimer. And let us know what you guys think about how anticipated are you to see the movie. I think it's going to be dope. I think it's going to be big. This already is lining itself up for a Best Picture run. And I'm ready.
It's going to be the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah. I wonder, do we get that quote early, or do we get that quote towards the end? Because I feel like... I mean,
he did that later in life, right?
Yeah, I feel like you would start the movie with him in that interview, and then you go back to like telling the story.
Yeah, like a framing device, have that be that, you hear that thing where he talks about being...
Or do
now
you,
I become
or do
death.
you go through the movie and then end with that interview? That would be I don't know. Either way, I think it's gonna be awesome.
Even if it comes full circle back to it, like maybe the bomb is going off and you just hear him say it again. Maybe, I don't know. End with a bang.
End with a bang. That's damn right. But now we're gonna get to some video game news.
Oh my God! What?
As the series adaptation of Fallout on Amazon Prime's Video has cast one of the lead roles, Walton Goggins will star in the drama from Westworld creators Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan, another Christopher Nolan's brother, actually. Like the game franchise on which it's based, Fallout is set in a retro-futuristic world that has been devastated by a nuclear war. Details on Goggins' character are being kept quiet. Fallout has been in the works since 2000, when Amazon licensed the rights to the game franchise. Joy and Nolan who signed big overall deals with the tech behemoth back in 2019, joined as executive producers via their production company, Kilter Films. Jeremy, you are the video game king of the channel. What do you think of Fallout coming to screen in live-action form?
Being that this is one of my favorite games, again, not just, I talk about movies, but like, come on, one of my favorite game series, period, too, is Fallout. I keep debating what my next tattoo is going to be. I know if anyone's ever seen it on my arm here, I can twist my arm. I can twist my arm because I have hypermobility. Probably not on screen yet. I've got Skyrim on this side. I'm like, I want to, on the opposite, there we go. On the opposite side, I want to put Fallout, so maybe it's the time. You know what? You said 2000. I'm like, yeah, that was about 22 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, I will believe it when I see it. However, we've talked about this numerous times. I think we are now finally into that. Look, I mean, I know we talked about like Terminator just a second ago. It's like, you can do it. You can. I don't know what the hell happened there in the 90s about that Mario movie that didn't happen. And the early 2000s, like with Doom and Prince of Persia, I think it was even a movie. But now we're finally in that nice little, because I know we're going to talk about another video game movie here in a second. Haha. We're finally in that nice little butter zone of, okay, making these video game adaptations, it's going pretty well, I think. Now, however, I think the safe thing to do with this, like you did with Assassin's Creed, it's like, well, you come into it expecting, like, oh, I know, there's Ezio, there's Altair, there's Connor, Jacob and Evie. There's like so many characters in this world. Safe bet, I don't know if they're going to go with something specific, because this is a game where you are your own character. Like, it's a custom. It's not like it's a set. If I'll ruin it, like Uncharted. Well, that's Nathan Drake. You know who that is. That's a set thing. This is like there is so much you can play with. The safe bet would be to just put it in this world, expand it a little more, expand this lore, because there's a lot of lore. I can't remember the channel off the top of my head. There's somebody who goes real deep into the lore of this video game world. It's a really cool watch. There's a big overall video to start with, and they start going to like every little detail. I like how they're like, oh well, here's this guy, but we're not gonna tell you who he is. I'm like, well, I don't know what kind of story you're trying to do. So is he maybe going to be? You always start out as like maybe the lone survivor. You start out as the sole survivor as one of them, or the courier from New Vegas, right? I don't know. My only hope too is that they get Ron Perlman back to do the narration like he always does in the games, because you better open that shit with war. War never changes in his little sultry voice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I didn't play a lot of Fallout. Which one did I play? I played New Vegas once or twice, and I played
The good one.
I think
3?
Maybe 3. It was 2 or 3.
Was it set in Washington D.C.?
No, I remember the opening of the game happened like in the suburbs somewhere, and then you had to run the start of the game. You have to run from your house to the bunker.
Did the bomb go off?
Yes.
That was 4.
Was it 4? Okay.
No, yeah, okay. I was like, that was 4. You actually see the bombs happening, and then you barely get down in there.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that one. I never really got into the Fallout games, but I do appreciate I do appreciate the video game attraction to the whole post-apocalyptic thing, because it makes for interesting video game programming and storytelling.
It's just even from a human standpoint, it's like, if you know, and this war, there's the Great War that's been going on since that, basically since 2077, October. Hold on, I know this. October 26th, 2077. The bombs go off, and then there's been this Great War for the last 200 fucking years. And that's usually typically where you start in the game. You start in like, I think 3 starts in 2277. New Vegas starts in like 2281. 4. Oh hell. 4 starts, I think, a little bit after that, maybe like 86. But yeah, and it's like, damn, it's interesting to see how, because humans are stubborn. Let's just admit it. We're fucking annoying because we refuse to die.
Yeah,
basically. So I mean, just in that case, like it's interesting to see how humanity copes in this weird. See, that's what the appeal is of this game. Is it seems like it's kind of it was 2077, but it looks like it's from the 1950s. But that's the joke, because it's the atomic age, and the irony is the bombs go off and we, for the most part, die. But there's vaults that they went into. But then the fucked up part about the vaults is because it was a government thing. They're like, hey, let's run unethical experiments on people. So, you know, it's kind of a shit show sometimes, but it's a fun time. I don't know. If you know, as I'm saying, I don't know. I'm pretty balls deep into this lore as well, so I'm kind of curious as to what they're going to do. I said my safe bet is just go with, you can make your own original thing within this world, and you can make little hints at stuff like, I don't know. Because I mean, shit, Liam Neeson voices your dad in 3, for fuck's sake. I'm like, you could literally just do that. What's his name? Matthew Perry, Chandler from Friends, plays the bad guy in New Vegas. One that tries to blow your fucking head off. I'm like, you know, you got some big list actors that are in this game. Like I said, Ron Perlman does the narration for these games. So it wouldn't be too hard to put some of these people in there. You said it's a series, right? Not like a one-off movie.
Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be a series adaptation, so it's not going to be like a 2-hour-long film. It's going to be at least a limited series. So we're looking at 6 to 8 episodes, somewhere in that range is my guess. They haven't really come out with anything. I did go to IMDb to look to see if they had any information on it, and they didn't. And there's not really a whole lot. I mean, Wikipedia didn't really have anything. So there's still a lot to be ironed out about this series. But yeah, it's
like I said, maybe it's time to get that tattoo finally. Get the Fallout one over here.
And like I said, you never go wrong by adding talent. For those of you who don't know what Walton Goggins has been in, he's been in Justified, which is a huge series for a long time. He's currently got a recurring role in The Righteous Gemstones. If you have HBO Max and you're not watching this movie, you are insane. Especially if you remember, like me, when I was a kid, the whole televangelist stuff that went on in the 80s and early 90s, Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, all that stuff that went on with some of these televangelists that were doing all kinds of crazy things with other people's money. It kind of harkens back to that a little bit, but it's way more modernized. He's also he does one of the voice for Prime Video's Invincible. Jeremy, have you watched Invincible, that comic book cartoon thing they have going on?
I haven't. I keep seeing things for it, and I just haven't yet.
It's good. I think I'll get a kick out of it. It's
Okay.
it's kind of like The Boys, only it's in cartoon form. It's very it's
That's
not,
what I heard.
It's not G-rated. There's blood and gore.
Oh yeah, no,
there's
Yeah,
a lot of crazy shit that goes on in that. It's very, very good. He's also been in things like The Shield and in Vice Principals, which is also hilarious to watch. But I'm most of the way through the first season of Vice Principals. But yeah, this guy is talented.
I'm still trying. I'm trying to think like who. And again, I'm like it's probably not something that is literally a character that we. I mean, maybe it is, but that we know from the actual game. I'm trying to think of like.
That was going to be my question to you. Is there's nothing known about who he's going to play? What character do you see him playing in this series?
You could, like I said, you could still make it. If he is like, I mean, I don't know why you would just flat out be, hey, here's this guy. This is the only guy we're going to talk about, but we're not going to tell you who he is. I feel like that wouldn't just be, he's just going to be random power armor soldier number 17. Like, you know what I mean? I don't, or Brotherhood of Steel number 17. Whatever. That's not a real thing. He's got to have some sort of significant role. Now, if he is like the lead role, maybe, he could be. I know it's the common trope of, like I said, it's always the one in 3, you're the only one who escapes Vault 101 because it's shut and never opened again. And in Vegas, you're a courier with oh shit, what's it? Oh my god, I'm really fucking myself up here. Anyway. You're a courier who's delivering a package, and like I said, you get shot in the fucking head and basically left to die. And you're like, hey, I need that back. And it's an important thing you were carrying. That's kind of why you got shot in the face. 4, shit, you barely escaped getting blown up by the nuclear bomb. Get to the vault, you get cryogenically frozen, and you wake back up and someone steals your spouse and your kid, your infant child is across from you in the thing. Someone takes them, shoots your spouse in the face, takes the kid, and then they just refreeze you. You wake back up again. You're like, you have no concept of what time has passed or when that happened. You're like, ah, crap, where's my son? I gotta go find him. And you're the only one who, other than your child, that's been unfrozen in that vault. Like I said, they got some fucked up experiments in these vaults. You know, if he's maybe the lone survivor or whoever that we're following, I'm okay with that. Or like they keep showing the power armor. I'm like, if he's maybe the lead Brotherhood of Steel, not general, but like one of the captains, maybe? I don't know. If I see him take off a power helmet, like a T-61 power helmet, I'm gonna lose my mind. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I didn't play the game that much, so I don't know much about the characters. One of the things that I think I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on about this, though, is the casting. Because as things kind of happened quick with like a movie like Oppenheimer, where it was like we have Cillian Murphy, and then they added a few people, and then it's like, oh, by the way, we got Robert Downey Jr., Dane DeHaan, and Blunt, and all that stuff. It's like the casting, I think, is going to be significant too, because Amazon's going to pour some money onto this stuff. I mean, look at how much money was it Amazon or Apple just poured all that money into the Lord of the Rings series, which now is being said to be the most expensive TV show ever made. Like, by leaps and bounds. They've
in a way, the way you could set dress this too is, I mean, it's. I'd hate to be like, oh, you can green screen it. Like, yeah, you can green screen the fucking wasteland probably, but you know, you can make some ruined, abandoned, blown out buildings and crap like that. And you know what? I think the thing that we have to do, because it's important, the most important character is dog meat. For the love of God, put a German Shepherd next to this man and have him have his event. Please do dog meat, because he is in every game. I'd feel kind of cheated if you didn't put him in there at least, because you know that iconic shot of like, you know, you walking with your back down the street, you got your gun over your shoulder, and you got the dog just walking next to you. Like, come on, he's the best companion in the game every time. Or you know what? The guy in Vegas who was the sniper, who's one of your companions, that'd be a badass role for him. If he played Boone, like the real grizzled fucking NCR sniper, who was actually, funny enough, and weirdly enough, voiced by the same person who does the voice of Max, Goofy's son. So going from that to like this grizzled fucking like military sniper who had to fucking shoot his own wife for her betterment. Because trust me, he's like, he was looking at her through the scope like she was captured, and he had to do. He's like, trust me, I did her a favor by killing her. I'm like, Jesus. Ooh, that's a deep story. That's a deep mission. Trust me. It's called One for My Baby. I'm like, yeah, because you're like, there's a speech option. You're like, how do you know she's dead? He just goes, trust me, I know. I'm like, oh, dude, that's fucked. Yeah, she got captured by some bad people, and he, trust me, did her a favor. That sucks.
I feel like the casting for this is going to be something interesting to watch. What I just do with the paper, I don't know exactly when they said they were going to start filming. Let's see. Yeah, there's not really any. Yeah, there's not really anything else in there as to when they start filming or as to what kind of idea they have for a release date. But yeah, I mean, I would imagine the casting news is going to start to come out pretty soon about other roles, and maybe at that point they're going to release exactly what role that Walton Goggins is playing. But I'm interested in this. I love Walton Goggins. Again, we watched The Righteous Gemstones. That show is fucking insane. it's good. I mean, John Goodman is a god. He is so good in the show. And then of course you have Danny McBride, who's hilarious, and then Walton Goggins plays like this other kind of like another one of these preachers with gray hair. He plays John Goodman's brother-in-law, who's kind of a scam artist of sorts. Right now in the season, he's basically doing exactly what Jim Baker was doing several months ago. He's marketing in real life. He's marketing the stuff that claims to be a cure for everything, including COVID. It's hilarious. But yeah, I'm down with it. I mean, he's been good in a lot of really good shows. So I'm down with him getting involved in this. Again, I wasn't too into the games, and I tend to not get into the post-apocalyptic stuff because I feel like it all just kind of feels the same.
Well,
but
yeah.
If you add talent, you're going to interest me. So
humanity does its thing. Yeah. Like I said, we're stubborn and we refuse to die. So that's. Yeah. But like this, I mean, this is not just your run-of-the-mill. I guess a lot of these games that I've played that are post-apocalyptic. I love post-apocalyptic shit because that does interest me, and that's what sets it for me. Is I'm like, okay, so what's this about? Like even Last of Us, you think, oh, it's zombies. I'm like, yeah, it's zombies, but it's also kind of the Walking Dead thing. Where I'm like, nah, humans are kind of just as bad of a threat as these zombies are, and it's a different virus. It's a fungal virus that grows in your fucking brain. This is like, okay, this is nuclear apocalypse. You know, and how you gotta live, and what do you gotta do to get to this wasteland, and all the radiated animals and shit. Oh my god, if we see a death claw, whoo! Oh, oh my god, I see it now. If we see a fucking death claw come in one of these episodes. I mean, imagine like a rancor like that. That would be fucking. That would be wild. That's probably about the right size too, and the right amount of ferocity to it. But yeah, I was just thinking of all fucking the wildlife too, like the cazadors and shit. I don't know where this is set, so that's what I'm saying. Like like the factions. There's a lot to this that they can play with. That's what I think maybe what I like about it is there's a lot of room of stuff you can play with here.
Well, another question is, at what point do they start this thing? Is it going to start in the middle? Is it going to be the very beginning? Do they go back to the first Fallout game and start at the very beginning? Because when they do stuff like this, they tend to not do a direct adaptation from the start, from the very beginning. They tend to take certain elements, and you might start from somewhere in the middle and then tell the story from there and then do flashbacks. I think that's going to be an important part of how the show is received as well, because I personally like when they do things chronologically. Like, I can watch as the show grows.
I do too.
But at the same time, like, I think you can do it both ways and still make it very, very good. But again, a lot of it's going to come down to the cast. A lot of it's going to come down to the writing. So I'm interested. It's got one of the Nolans involved. So
the other thing is you have to make sure it's. I like, because I mean we're gonna talk about this in Uncharted too. I'm sure it's like you kind of have to make it accessible to the fact that not everyone has probably played this game. You still have to explain. Explain the world, build the whole thing up, and yeah, how you would do that, I don't know. Maybe you'd have, like I said, get Ron Perlman in a booth and have him narrate some of these fucking episodes. That'd be how you do it, because in the start of the game, like he'll mention like what's going on, like talk about the Great War and how everything went the fuck off, basically. That you could do that and set it up to the point to where okay, now we're 200 fucking years later and we still out here. I don't know.
Well, go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. If you're video game fans like Jeremy, let us know what you think about the concept of Walton Goggins being a part of bringing Fallout to the small screen in a limited series from Amazon. Let us know what you guys think. I'm interested. I'm not freaking out, but I'm interested because, again,
Not freaking out yet.
Yeah, not yet. You know, once I see, like,
I've heard this all before.
Yeah, once I see like a poster or a trailer or something like that really piques my interest. And hey, that might be awesome. Then that might be something that I'll want to go to. But again, I don't really know a lot about the story. So right now, all I can go on is the cast and stuff like that. And maybe once some actual casting news comes out of some people being cast to play specific roles, maybe that'll turn me on a little bit. But right now, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Hold my breath.
I'm cautiously optimistic because, again, I like Walton Goggins. He's been good in a lot of really good shows, especially The Shield. If you haven't watched The Shield, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But time to move on to the kind of the main topic of what we're here for today. And since we're on the subject of films based on video games, the highly anticipated Uncharted hit the big screen this last weekend, driven by stars Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, Sophia Ali, Antonio Banderas, and Tati Gabrielle. The film has made $145 million worldwide so far, but has divided critics and fans as the film currently holds a 40-90 split on Rotten Tomatoes. Jeremy, you've seen the film. What were some of your thoughts about this whole thing?
Well, I unironically wore my Spider-Man shirt to see this movie, mainly because it's Wednesday. Look, it's Wednesday. It's actually an Andrew Garfield one, though, to be fair. But I always wear the shirt on Wednesday because it's Wednesday, my dudes. It's the meme. I meme stuff, okay? I did not realize, I was like, crap, I'm wearing Spider-Man and it's Tom Holland. It's at the point. Again, I think we're... I mean, it's you know, it's a... They even mentioned Indiana Jones, which I knew they were going to fucking do. I'm surprised they didn't mention Tomb Raider as a joke, but, like... I mean, it's a action-adventure story, and it seemed like a prequel that's setting up for more, because there is a... Oh, geez, there's, at least 4 of these games?
I
didn't think it was bad. It's a video game movie. I think we are still. I'm gonna keep holding on to that we're in the butter zone. I think we're getting better at this. Overall, I mean, it was fun. I thought it was kind of awesome. I will say the thing that I caught first, because of course I did, when he opens up, Tom Holland opens up that little briefcase and he annoyingly opens it up like whoop, that far. I'm like, come on, open the fucking thing up. Because underneath there, I saw the Naughty Dog logo, the company that made the game in the first place. I saw that little red paw print. I was like, like, there it is. And then he annoyingly kept it shut and was looking through his brother's postcards. I'm like, nope, I saw it. I was doing the Tony Stark. You think I wouldn't notice, but I did. And I have to mention this because I did the Leonardo DiCaprio thing with my. Like, ooh. I saw it. When they washed up on the beach, and that guy that's in that lounge chair they talked to, he's like, what happened to you guys? He was like, oh yeah, we fell on a plane. He's like, oh yeah, that happened to me once. I'm like, oh my god, that's Nolan North, the guy who voices Nathan Drake in the video game. I was like, yeah! Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for making that happen. Oh, that made me happy. I think I don't know if I was really disappointed with, Antonio Banderas. I thought maybe he was going to do more. Because I thought, when he killed his dad, I thought, oh shit, he is going to be the bad guy. Now, I was looking at the girl. I was like, she's going to have something to do with it. But I didn't expect her to just slit his throat right before he was about to have his moment. I'm like, oh, well, okay, well, that was fun. Bye, dude. I don't know.
Is it really a heel turn if the heel is already a heel? You know, it's like... I mean, it was kind of...
You didn't see the way she was standing? Her heel was cocked inwards right at him. I'm like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, I thought the movie was pretty good. Again, I didn't play Uncharted all that much. I played it a few times. It wasn't really my kind of game, but I mean, just going into this kind of with kind of, virgin eyes and not really having the video game connection to it all. I thought it was fun. It's not. Look, you're never going to get another Indiana Jones kind of film. There's no way to.
Wait, yeah, we are. We're getting 5. We're getting 5.
But we're not even sure that's going to be a good Indiana Jones film. Yeah, we'll wait until that one actually comes out because we were all hoping that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was going to be a great movie too. But but I mean, there was aspects of this movie I really liked. I did like the fact that it's very Indiana Jones-ish, and the fact that it's kind of an action adventure, swashbuckling kind of
looking for lost gold.
Yeah, I I miss those movies because I grew up watching a lot of stuff like that when I was a kid, and I miss those movies. Like the horror genre for a long time in the early 2000s, it just kind of fell out of favor. It's like the westerns for the most part. Nobody makes westerns anymore. The genre is not big anymore.
Well, not now.
It used to be.
Not now that Alec Baldwin shot somebody.
Yeah, westerns have taken a little bit of a hit, but
yeah,
it's like I thought the movie was fun. The chemistry between Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, it worked really well at times and was kind of obnoxious at a couple other times.
It's supposed to be.
There were times where I was like, I would have liked some better dialogue rather than just the back and forth stuff about the cat. I thought was funny.
Oh yeah,
especially that last scene at the end of the movie where they're in the bar talking to the guy and
you gotta have the cat
in the backpack. I thought that was funny. Mark, I mean, I am actually pretty comfortable and pretty happy with Tom Holland playing the role because, I mean, look, if you want somebody that can carry a franchise for a few movies, you need somebody like him. And he fits the role pretty well, I thought. As far as Mark Wahlberg, I've realized that he just plays Mark Wahlberg in every movie. Like he just plays himself with a different name, and I don't mind it because
he plays it well.
I like the fact that he did kind of acquiesce this entire movie to Tom Holland. It wasn't two stars that were trying to compete for screen time and lines, because usually you can notice that kind of a thing in the movie that throws everything off. It seemed like he was perfectly happy just playing a support role to Tom Holland, letting Tom Holland carry this whole thing, which I think probably made the movie a lot better to watch. The one thing I didn't like about this movie was I really like Sophia Ali as an actress. I was the one who was shitting all over the concept of making that Power Rangers movie that came out a couple years ago, because I was not a Power Rangers fan. I think Power Rangers are dumb, the stuff that was on TV. But I actually I actually kind of liked that movie. The ending got a little campy when they actually started playing the Power Rangers theme from the TV show as they're going into the final battle. I was like, oh, really? You had to just play that song and kind of annoy me? But overall,
would you have watched Mortal Kombat if they hadn't still done it?
Probably.
they kind of technically like when they're fighting, you're like dun, 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 dun. I'm like, oh, there it is, there it is. It gets you a little excited.
It didn't do anything for me personally. I like the fact that they had made it a little darker and grittier than the original TV series, or whatever. But yeah. And I really liked her. She played Jasmine in the live action Aladdin film a couple of years back with Will Smith. I really liked her in that. So I think she's got a lot of potential.
And then she was in that goofy ass movie that we saw, The Walking Deceased.
Yeah.
I was like, we went from that to this. Hey.
Yeah, but
you made it.
But the one thing I didn't like is how they kind of just wrote her out of the entire climax of the movie.
You don't trust anybody.
But you can not look. I get the concept of all these three people not trusting each other at all, even though they're all trying to achieve ultimately the same ends. But I was like, she's been a significant part of the movie.
She might have heel turned. You don't know.
Second act on. Why do you just completely write her out of the entire climax of the movie?
She knocked him the fuck out and left him there to die. Damn it, I wouldn't trust her either.
They were all ready to screw each other in the end.
I know.
I mean, her turning on him is no different than Sully turning on Tom Holland or on Drake, or Drake turning on one of the other ones. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. So why eliminate her from the entire climax of the movie? I didn't really get it. It was a weird choice. I mean, it worked overall for the movie, but it was a weird choice. And especially just to have her, like, roll back in on her boat at the end of the movie and just kind of be like, oh, you motherfuckers, you got me. And then it's like, and that's the last we see of her. I'm like, that was just so dumb. It was such a bad ending for her character.
He could come back.
I mean, well, we know she's going to come back. At least we know they were setting up for a sequel. The whole damn movie was a setup for the second movie. It's but I was.
I mean, they did the thing where, because I was wondering why he didn't have the gun. I'm like, where the fuck? And then he finally put that shoulder holster. I'm like, there he is. There he is. Okay, we're getting there. And I was also like, well, Sully doesn't have his little trademark mustache, and I'm like, oh, you got your little dirty stash there. Okay, you're getting there. You're getting there, Mark. You'll have the beautiful. And the gray hair. I'm like, okay.
Remember, this movie is supposed to be a prequel to the games.
I know, so I'm like, he'll eventually get like the full mustache. And
so it's these characters coming into the characters that we know in the games. So
yeah,
I mean, there's that, which is probably one of the reasons why I ended up enjoying the movie, because A, I didn't know much about the games anyway, and B, they weren't really telling a story directly from the game, so they were kind of telling a different thing. So it didn't really have to draw too heavily off the stuff that we already have in the games. But
I do appreciate that scene where they found the big urns of salt. He was actually Tom Holland was wearing the outfit from the games you usually see, as the dark blue shirt and the dark pants and shit. Just little shit that I noticed like that. Like, oh yeah, he's wearing the original outfit. I'm like, that's cool. I appreciate that.
But yeah, I thought overall the movie was really good. I don't really understand well, I mean, I do understand the split between the critic score and the audience score because critics don't know shit about movies. But yeah, I really liked it. I liked the motivation behind Drake's character. I know some people are kind of like, Tom Holland doesn't quite fit. I'm like, you know what? He's got to fit. He's got to fit the character that they're designing for the film, not the character that you've seen in the video game. Because the film and the video game are going to be different things. You're going to have to get.
He is kind of He is still kind of quippy and goofy, and he gets stupid lucky when it comes to things happening to him. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's kind of the fun of it. It's like he's not. He sometimes is just kind of flying by the seat of his fucking pants. So, at least Nathan Drake is. I don't know in the game. But
I really did like Tati Gabrielle's character, the mercenary girl. I forget her name. Gibson. Is that her name?
I don't.
I'm drawing a blank on what her name was in the movie. All I know is she was pretty badass. I love when a woman can just kick a guy's ass all over the fucking screen in a movie. To me, that's just fun. When done well, that's so fun. It's like her, Michelle Rodriguez in the Fast and the Furious movies. I love it when a woman can just be like, okay, let's go ahead and have a fight, and then just start throwing guys all over the place.
I mean, we're just talking about Linda Hamilton too.
And Linda Hamilton, yeah. I mean, it's like I love when a woman is extremely deadly. But
yeah, Mark Wahlberg looks in like, those poor bastards. Like,
yeah. Honestly, I love Antonio Banderas. Maybe it's because of the Mexican heritage. I don't know, but I mean,
he's pretty awesome.
I don't think I was thinking about it after I saw the movie. I just don't think they used his character right. I mean, I like what they built his character to be, but I feel like it would like the double cross that happens would have been better once they had gotten to the ships.
Yeah,
I feel like that might have fit a little better.
They killed him when they found him.
Yeah,
not like before. I know when he came in there and he had his little glass of whatever, and I was like, "Are you doing the bad guy thing where you prematurely celebrate?"
Yeah,
like, dude,
you're monologuing. Don't monologue.
Yeah, like you're not there yet, dude. Come on, that's your downfall. I mean, and that's kind of what her point was. I'm like, okay. Yeah, she had this in the bag, obviously, because all the guys didn't even give a shit that their boss just got their fucking throat slit open. They're all just like,
Yeah, yes. I really didn't think his character was used quite right. I did like the dynamic between him and his father, though.
Yeah.
I thought some of that dialogue worked really, really well. Just the difference between the way his father saw things and the way he saw things. How his father's ready just to give up on looking for this stupid treasure because he's like, screw it. It's not like I need any more money. I'm 175 years old and, I've got more money than I can count. Why do I need to go find this treasure? I'm just like, who cares? I'm just going to enjoy my life. And but Antonio Banderas being very obsessive about his character, being very obsessive about it, can't let it go as easily as his father does. So that's kind of what leads to, him deciding to off his father and kind of take over the whole thing.
Kind of like a national treasure thing. Like, that clue gives you another clue, and that clue gives you another clue.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, fuck this. It's like, no, I can't.
And I also really liked the post-credit, the right before the credit scene and the mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
Because right before the credits start to roll, you actually do pan through this jail somewhere, wherever it is, and you find out that Nathan's brother Sam is actually still alive and is still writing him postcards. So that was interesting and definitely a lot of setup for the sequel. And then, of course, that scene where the mid-credit scene where they're in the bar and then you see Mark Wahlberg with a mustache carrying his cat in his backpack and that whole thing. That was really interesting, too. I mean, you knowing more about the games than I do, give me a little bit of setup for that. Who was that character that we saw, and what are they talking about a little bit in that scene?
See, I meant to look that up because there was somebody who went through all the game references. It was an 8-minute video. It wasn't very long. It was like the game references and shit, and I was like, yeah, there wasn't a lot, but it was like 8 minutes. That's more than I could probably have explained. I don't know. I'm having a fucking blank. I don't remember who that was. I thought it was his brother at first. I'm like, wait a minute, no. It's got to be somebody. Because remember, like I said, Sully always had the big fucking the mustache and all that shit. Might be one of the bad guys from like one of the games. Like I said, there's more treasures to be found out here and shit. There's obviously gonna be just like Tomb Raider. There's gonna be organizations of people that are also out looking for it for nefarious reasons. So that's about all I can tell you. I mean, when they turned around, they're like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, that could be anything." I don't know. Maybe it's Maybe it's the girl. Who knows? Not the one that got the boat dropped on her. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not mad. Look, preface, he actually spoiled that for me, but I wasn't mad. Because knowing that, I was like, I want to see this happen. I'm like, how's this going to happen? In my mind, I kept seeing the ship. I'm like, oh my god, it's going to drop on her. I know it's going to, and it's going to be awesome. It's just in the middle of nowhere. It's like, ah, damn. Well, that's the end of that.
Pilu Ozbek plays Gage in the mid-credit scenes.
Hmm.
So that's who that was. That's what I was reading. He was Gage. He was a character from the game, I'm thinking.
Let me look.
And the actor, anyway, was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, isn't he the guy that wasn't he in hell. Wasn't he the one that John Wick killed in the first movie? The son?
Do you not remember?
Because I think it's that same guy, because he was also in Game of Thrones.
That may be him. Let me.
I think that is the guy that killed his dog. I think that was him, the Russian guy.
Career television film. He was in Overlord, which I still never got around to seeing. He was in Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. Played a soldier in Afghanistan. Ben-Hur. Uncharted. Lucy. Did I overlook it? No, I did not. What year did John Wick come out?
2013 or 14.
No, he was in Lucy.
Maybe it wasn't him.
He was in that Ben-Hur remake that didn't do very well. He was in Ghost in the Shell. He's in that movie Samaritan that I really want to see with Sylvester Stallone. It's coming out this year. He's going to be in Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom.
Nice.
And in television, what was he in? Game of Thrones, The Borgias. Yeah, so he was not that. I haven't seen Lucy in a long time. I actually really enjoyed Lucy. I thought it was a fun movie to watch.
Okay, because I kept thinking that, okay, this is, while there's no confirmation of a sequel for Uncharted, which we know there's going to be.
Oh, there will be.
This certainly suggests that potential next movie could adapt the plot from the series' first game, Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I was like, that's what I kept thinking, because I'm like, Drake's Fortune is the first one. And I kept thinking, is this it? Is this what this is? Is that the... I'm like, no, it's not. Jesus, 2007. Nazis and a villain named Roman, but also has the potential to introduce supernatural elements that are often important in the video games, but aren't present in the first film. Well, yeah, because you have to kind of make it something that's, you know... That's what I liked about Tomb Raider. They kind of walked that line between, like, is it supernatural? Is it real? Is it... Like, that's kind of that's the fun of these, you know... It's like Indiana Jones. Like, oh, you're going to go find the Ark of the Covenant? Okay, cool. That's a religious artifact. Is it real? Does it do stuff? Does it kill you? Yeah, it does. You know... You're like, oh, it's real, but it's also, you know, don't open it. Don't look inside.
Yeah, I overall, I thought it was a fun movie to watch. Now, they did reach at times to give you a little bit of the Indiana Jones feel. Like, the whole like, cuts where you see the airplane flying over the globe with the little lines tracking. That was obviously kind of a little visual cue to kind of relate a little bit to the Indiana Jones stuff. But, I mean, overall, I thought it was fun. It's probably the best video game adaptation I've seen so far. I mean, I've really liked Uncharted. I really liked the Mortal Kombat that came out last year. I don't know. I'm okay for a sequel. I thought it was pretty good. I think this is probably the best video game-based film that has been made so far. I mean, I don't know. Did you think is this the movie that breaks the curse?
It's like I said. I think we're melting the butter. We're in the butter zone, but we're melting it. I think we're getting there. If that's a good way to put it. I mean, yeah, shit. What else has really come out? Like I said, there was Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, Mortal Kombat, Uncharted now.
Well, there's been no shortage of movies based on video games over the years.
I know, but I mean, in the last like 5-10 years, what's really been, because of those movies. That's why we're kind of like, hesitant to do that. Don't want to do that again.
Yeah, but again, I think you got to ask yourself, I mean, what stories translate from video games into movies very well? I mean, I know that they still want to make some kind of like Call of Duty movie, which I think would be pointless. Because the game, I mean, well,
just be a war movie.
As much as I like the campaigns, I don't know that those storylines necessarily drag out to a 90-minute or 120-minute film. without without getting a little stupid, or without giving you way too many opportunities to screw it up. So they're still talking about making a Fortnite movie, which I don't know why. It's like,
I feel like that's probably like an animated movie and probably for kids ish. I'm like, yeah, fine.
you know what? There's supposed to be some big announcement coming up with a movie starring The Rock soon, and he just did that whole marketing thing with Fortnite. So a lot of people are thinking it's a possibility, and I'm like,
I thought someone said it was supposed to be the Call of Duty movie because it's like one of the biggest games ever. I'm like, well, Fortnite is pretty big, but I'm like, Call of Duty's pretty goddamn big too.
Well, he did just do.
You can see him soldiered out. You can see him be. I know.
So
but who hasn't been in fucking Fortnite at this goddamn point? There's,
everybody.
That's what I mean. Yes, you could.
Well, you'll be happy to know I've got both the Batman skins. So
I'm proud of you. I haven't played since Chapter 2 started, so I've had my time. I have my. I'm not going to use the word fun. I played it. So
yeah. Overall, I don't know. Overall, thumbs up, thumbs down for Uncharted. What do you think?
I would definitely give us a thumbs up, and I would honestly say I'm excited for a sequel.
Yeah, I agree with that. I give it a thumbs up, and I'm excited, but I still I'm tepid on saying that the video game curse has been broken, because there are still some holes in this movie. There's still at times we're trying to ride the Indiana Jones thought process a bit. And
that's
I was
kind of what this is based off of.
I was like, be your own movie. Don't try to remind me that you like this movie, and because like I said, one of the things that really got me about it was those travel montages where they show the plane going over the globe. I was like, it's really really obvious what mindset you're trying to give me right now, because those are some of the most iconic parts of the Indiana Jones films, those travel montages where you see the lines going over the map. I was like, yeah, I get it that you're going for that, but can you do your own thing and kind of and be new about it rather than just trying to say, hey, we're kind of like Indiana Jones, so you should like us. I don't know. There were some things about it that cringed me out a little bit, but I think overall it was a good movie. It was fun. I was actually excited for the mid-credit scene and the just before the credit scene, because I was like, okay, there's more out there to be told. They've got what, 4 games out in the series now, 4 or 5.
I think there's 4.
So there's plenty more. There's plenty more story to be told in sequels, and I would imagine that by the time they get to a third film, that we're going to have another Uncharted game out, especially since the movie's done pretty well. But I don't know. This was the first video game movie, with the exception of maybe Assassin's Creed, that really went for the star power though. Because Mark Wahlberg was supposed to be Nathan Drake for years, and then eventually Tom Holland comes in. They make Wahlberg Sully. Then you bring in Antonio Banderas, who's pretty good. You bring in Sophia Ali, who's one of the big up and coming stars in Hollywood. So was that the difference? Is just bringing in a lot of star power and kind of like making a decent story?
It works.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if bringing in one of the hottest actors in Hollywood right now, and Tom Holland, is necessarily enough. But I guess we're going to see eventually because look, we all know the sequel's going to be out in a couple of years. I'm pretty sure they've already got somebody working on script ideas for it. So I don't know. We'll see if the next movie comes out and it's just not very good, then we're going to have to say that this is probably a one-off. It's just that it worked for this movie but didn't work for the rest. Also, I don't know if they signed Tom Holland or anybody else for that matter to a multi-picture deal for this. Sure. Now, it was made by Sony, and Sony's got Tom Holland locked up for a while for Spider-Man anyway.
Right.
I don't know how. I honestly don't know. I haven't heard. I would imagine they've probably got him on for at least 2 Uncharted movies. But I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Overall, I'd have to give it a solid thumbs up. It was a fun watch. I didn't feel like I got cheated out of my money going to see it. There was some really good. The action was fun. It was really really fun to see that stuff, but there's only so many. One of the things that gets me about these movies is I always feel like there can't be treasure like this out there anymore because of all the technology that we have now. It seems like it would be too easy to search for stuff like this. But then again, people are finding shit. Smaller stuff, of course. But people are finding crazy shit out in the oceans and out in the jungles all the time. So maybe I don't know. Maybe it is possible. But I don't know. It's just the way it hit me. But overall, I thought it was a really fun movie to watch. I think you guys should go check it out. A sequel's going to be fun, I think. I'm interested to see the personal storyline between him and his brother. Because the question that I get left with is, did Sully lie to him about his brother being killed, or does Sully actually not know? So that's something that's going to have to be addressed in the sequel. That's going to be another personal storyline to follow up in the next movie. But and does Sophia Ali even bother coming back for the next one? I think it's going to be odd to make her a significant part of the next movie when you pretty much just eliminate her from the climax of this movie. So still, that doesn't sit well with me. I don't know why you do it. But I don't know. You guys go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think of the movie Uncharted. Have you seen it yet? If you have, let us know if you guys liked it, what you guys thought of the movie, and where you guys think the next sequel could go. But Jeremy, is there anything you want to go into before we start wrapping stuff up?
Not wrapping stuff up, but opening stuff because I've got a box.
I missed the unboxing. Oh, you know what? Because I wasn't looking at my thing.
I was like,
I got thrown off when Cora bowed out a little bit early, and I wasn't looking at one piece of paper. I was looking at the other. What are you unboxing today?
We're lost without her. Well, surprise, another pop figure. I guess while I'm doing this, I was gonna say, kind of related to Uncharted. Speaking of Sony, can we at least take a second to appreciate they made their own little like Marvel-esque like intro to their, I guess they have a studio now.
I saw that.
That was fucking cool. I'm sorry. Of course, they opened up with Nathan Drake. They put like Joel and Ellie in there. They put Kratos from God of War. I think I saw Ratchet and Clank. They put Sackboy from fucking Little Big Planet. They put Astro in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like that little holographic kind of like outline blue, and I have like all the different characters from Sony. I thought that was really fucking cool. It was a cool touch. I like that. That's a thing now. And speaking of that, I know they're filming, but I'm assuming next year we might get the Last of Us series that's coming out that they're filming. I don't know. We got that's why Mandalorian got pushed back because it's Pedro Pascal being Joel. So I don't know. Yeah. So sorry, we have a Falcon's taking this whole goddamn table. Jesus. I'm afraid to move it because I feel like if I move it, you guys hear a crash. I mean, you'll know what happened.
Then we know what the next episode of Millennials Building the Falcon's going to look like. It's going to be the aftermath.
Yeah, it's going to be backtrack. I'm ready to look at the box. Sorry. It's going to be backtrack. This is a really nice. Oh, my God, that's smooth. There's no dents, no nothing that I can see. Nice. Well, I guess this is nice that there's so many fucking boxes. Yeah, a bonfire. Well, I was kind of hoping this would cut. Oh, it's Bubblehead. Oh, it's not even solid. It's a Bubblehead. That's really cool. I was kind of hoping this would be towards the end. Not of this, of the thing it's a part of. But hey, I guess it's fun to look back on because at least we know he exists, even if he doesn't exist for 2 episodes of his own fucking show. But hey, we got Boba Fett. We got Boba Fett finally up in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, a cleaned up version of him. It's got, I think it's just him and Fennec Shan. So there was a bigger, they have like these little moments type ones where it's something specific that happens. And they have the one of him like sitting in Jabba's little seat looking like a bot. He's got like the gun next to him. He's just kind of sitting there like this. And it's got Fennec Shan behind him like holding her gun up. I thought maybe. But I was like, we'll see how this goes. And this is he's actually kind of buff. I mean, holy crap. I mean, Tamara Morrison's still out here kicking ass, but yeah, he's a little cleaned up, nice version from the Book of Boba Fett. I think they have a Cobb Vanth one, and then they have, I think, him when it's still kind of, the armor's still kind of messed up. But I like the still dingy, but cleaned up version of it. It's pretty clean.
I want the Cobb Vanth one.
The Cobb Vanth one's pretty fucking cool. Hey, we're probably going to get another version of him since apparently he's getting some shiny new parts. Because he totally didn't die.
He didn't die.
Nah, you ain't gonna get rid of a dude like that. Come on. I mean, I love how we have. It's just such a weird thing with Star Wars. It's like oh, damn, I didn't mention my sign. X marks the spot. Sorry. Boom. Uncharted. Maybe I should have just not said anything. That would have been the funnier joke, and I just ruined it. Whatever. What was I talking about? Oh. They have all these things like they have this force healing. They have the ability to, I mean, which makes with putting stuff into people that keep that keep them running, especially like the fucking little Vespa gang, Power Rangers, whatever. You can have modded parts that keep you going. I'm like, yeah, that's what Darth Vader is. That's what General Grievous is. They're life support systems. Those are pretty extreme life support systems, however. But I'm like, yeah, but you have all these things, and then like, oh, suddenly, hey, look, the technology is so advanced. I'm like, yeah, but it's been there the whole time. Why wasn't it ever a thing? Because I just keep thinking of the TVA. Someone's gonna make that a meme. They're like, because you didn't need to know about it yet. I'm like, conveniently for the story, right? Because you didn't need to know about it. Now I want to say, like, yeah, when everyone's like, oh, Rey can fucking heal people. I'm like, yeah, cool. Why didn't nobody want to do that for Qui-Gon? I'm like, well, he was a Padawan. They probably didn't teach him that shit. Like, we didn't teach Rey anything. Like, no, but she fucking just learned how to. I don't know. Shut up.
I've got 3 Baby Yoda things, but I do not have either the Mandalorian or Boba Fett. I need to pick. I need to pick up my pop figure game.
It'll be like me. Just that's actually Nibs on us. This I've got Mandalorian up there with his rifle. It's actually shiny. It's actually I've never actually shown that one. Actually next to him, ironically enough, speaking of Boba Fett, is Han Solo and Carbonite. That's a really cool one. Yeah, I'm glad I had that Mandalorian one. Because it's like super shiny. It's the whole Beskar armor.
I have the Mandalorian and Boba Fett skins on Fortnite as well because I can't get. I mean, I'll get on that game to fuck around, but I gotta have the cool skins.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the. I have Mando's skin. I did manage to get that on there, but I since have not played. But hey, actually, I still have this over here. It's fake gun. So these are for the Russians.
Yeah, that's yeah. Remember, we shoot first.
Not this time. I think Russia.
Greedo does not make it into the bar if it's one of us. I most definitely shoot first.
Yeah, none of that fucking.
But I believe that is our time for tonight. Jeremy, where can the folks at home find you on the internet?
Well, I'm here. I'm always here. I'm everywhere. Not really. I'm here. Obviously, right now, every Thursday at 8 whatever, because we can't ever seem to get this shit to work. But hey, we made it. Not really any of our faults, just how it goes. Yeah, I'm here every Thursday, and I'm I want to say it again. I'm also here again every Tuesday around 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, building this monstrosity of a Lego set. I mean, hey, if my whole life I've been building Legos as a kid culminates to this point where I'm an adult, where I'm now making this big thing. I mean, hey, that's a high point. It's a trek, and we are trekking not to the stars. We are. I tried to make Star Trek. Shut up. We're making the trip. You know what I meant. We're trekking to the wars. That's what we're doing. I don't know. Lego Star Wars: Skywalker Saga comes out on April 5th. If we plan this out correctly, we should have this done on that very day, and we'll start playing that. And on that, I will switch it over to my Twitch channel, which is also the same name. Yeah, and actually, unfortunately, Rachel will not be with me one of those weeks because she will be on vacation. Maybe Frank would be so nice as to come and give me some company while I build this thing on that day. And I might have some other guests. I've always got Zach. I might have one of Rachel's friends said she might actually do it. One of my own friends, I was like, hey, just get some little guest stars and just help me build this fucking thing because it's going to be a trek.
I'm terrified to touch the damn thing. I'm afraid to be the one that drops it.
See, yeah, if you guys saw where I ended last time, I think now, I even mentioned it, I'm like, this is the point now where I'm scared I don't want to keep moving it from the table to the floor and back and forth. I'm scared to move it now. We're going to have to figure something else out to do these pieces, so yeah, come check that shit out. It's a fun time.
And don't be afraid to challenge him with Star Wars trivia. I heard Rachel giving you a couple of questions. Some of them seemed really, really easy. A couple of them I was just like, oh, hell, I don't even know.
Yeah, she was even like, oh, those are easy, and she kept skipping some. I'm like, yeah, that's to be fair. Give me some of the obscure shit. Like, I probably do know. I mean, like, yeah, sure, it's not really Star Wars, so to speak, but I'm like, I know how tall Peter Mayhew was. 7'2". Jesus, you don't miss that, man. He's a Wookiee. Yeah, Yeah.
Taller than
And
everybody else.
like Windows said, Wookiees tend to stand out in a crowd. Like, yeah.
Literally a foot above everybody else. At least.
Yeah. Almost 2 feet over. Jesus.
Yeah, definitely come hang out with Jeremy and Rachel, and occasionally Zach, and probably me at some point while this thing is getting built. Hit us with your trivia questions. Hit us with whatever questions you have about entertainment or whatever else is going on in the world. They have really good conversations going on over there. JSP, what's up, my brother? If you popped in just now, you popped in at the very end. You're going to have to rewind and go back to the very front, listen to all the cool stuff we talked about. As for me, you can find me here every Thursday going over with my great co-hosts, Jeremy and Lady Cora, all the stuff that is interesting to us in the world of news and televisions, reviewing most of the stuff that we watch. You can also find me on Sundays over on the Derailed News and Podcast channel, talking about all the things that are going on in the world around us that are not entertainment related. Generally, we do some entertainment stuff there. You will actually find me over on Derailed later tonight. We're going to be doing a little bit of talking about the stuff going on in the Ukraine. If you are watching us in the Ukraine, if you know anybody in the Ukraine, if you are Ukrainian yourself, we're thinking about you guys. That's definitely a serious situation going on over there that's going to have ramifications all over the world. So, pay attention to what's going on in the news, folks, because that's going to be a big deal, I think. What were you saying?
I was going to say that because I kind of thought about it again today. Back when I was in high school, I think about junior or senior year, we had some exchange students, 3 of them. One of them I kind of became friends with. She was from France. There was one from Germany, I believe, and then there was the third one. She was from the Ukraine. So it was just kind of, I was just like thinking about her for a hot second. I was like, oh damn, because obviously I know she went back home, but I was thinking, oh Jesus, I hope that's not like affecting her directly, because that would be horrifying.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy situation going on over there, and we don't really know how that thing's going to pop off. But hopefully cooler heads will prevail, and everybody's going to go back to their corners, and we can move around on this. And yes, JSP, we are on Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description below. I didn't do the Discord plug like I usually do because I keep forgetting to go get a new screen grab of the Discord. But the link is in the description below if you guys want to go down on Discord. I know some other people are putting the links for their videos they're doing in there. I get a little bit active in there from time to time. It hasn't really popped off for us yet, but I mean, if you want to go in there and talk movies, send us some stories, ask some questions, do some different things in there, that's what we do down in Discord. The movie talk continues 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, when we're not live on here talking all of our crazy shit about the world.
Also on Twitter, if you want to come fuck with us over there. So.
Also on Twitter, both of our Twitter handles are in the description below. Blow us up on Twitter. I think I got JSP on Twitter anyway. I think we can go back and forth already. But thank you, folks, for hanging out with us tonight. Again, good luck to everybody in the Ukraine if you're one of the people affected by that. And we'll see you guys next week. Adios.